Okay, so in the last class we were discussed about the low frequency parameters. Now today we'll discuss about the high frequency parameters. So low frequency like ABCD parameters, Z parameter, Y parameter. So all these things. So low frequency we can able to predict the two-port network and we can calculate the net voltage and current. Okay. So but in high frequency what are the problems and which parameters are used to calculate the voltages and currents and particular network or particular two-port network or n-port network we'll going to see. So what will happen in low frequency parameter, and if I use the same ABCD or other whatever the parameters are there, if I use that, what happened? Okay. So generally in any network if you take, so there will be a problem of short circuit and open circuit. Okay. So if you have short circuit and open circuit terminations, so at low frequency we can able to predict what is the current and what is the voltage. So since it is a low frequency, the wavelength is much longer than the component size. Okay, so there is no problem of finding out the voltage and current. Okay, so we can directly predict if the open circuit is there, I is 0. So if short circuit is there, I is the I value or infinity. So like that we can able to directly find out using the low frequency parameters in the network or two-port network or any network circuitry. Okay, when we come to the higher frequency, what will happen? So this short circuit and open circuit terminations generally, so we have already seen in the distributed analysis. Okay, in the transmission and distributed analysis, so the parameters at the high frequency, it is not physically present over a one location, it is completely distributed over the complete component. So because of that, if I apply any voltage at the input side, okay, of the any component, so it will give transmitted voltage, reflected voltage, so all those things. So when we take the open circuit or short circuit, especially at the high frequency, so we cannot assure that the same impedance or same voltage which will be there over the broad range of frequencies, okay, over the bandwidth. If I take at the low frequency, so the bandwidth or some particular bandwidth we can able to find out the voltage of open and short circuit. Okay, so using the low frequency parameters. But at high frequency what will happen? So this short and open circuit, so we cannot maintain the constant voltages over a broad frequency range. So that's why there is a necessity of taking this open circuit and short circuit at high frequency. So we need to define, so based on the traveling waves. Okay, so traveling waves means there is an incident voltage and there is a reflected voltage. So that is what which is needed. So when we go for the higher frequencies, we have to characterize the short circuit and open circuit in terms of traveling waves. Okay, so what are all those high frequency parameters we can see? Okay, so this short circuit and open circuit, so can be so represented at high frequency based on the traveling waves. Okay, so now what are these traveling waves? So the incident wave and reflected wave. So based on this, we have to characterize the any network based on the incident voltage and reflected voltage. Even we can realize this short circuit and open circuit over the broad range of frequencies. Okay, so now for our discussion, we just restrict our discussion to two-port network. So for the whatever the traveling waves we will define and high frequency parameters, we will define only for the two-port network. And these high frequency parameters where based on the traveling waves we will going to discuss, those are all called as S parameters. Okay, similarly your Z, Y, okay, and ABCD parameters. So all these things, whatever we have H parameters and all, so this is for low frequency parameter. So similarly we have the S parameters for high frequency. So we can define this S as scattering parameters. So why? Because this is scattering means we have the traveling wave, So whenever we apply a voltage to a circuit, we will be having incident voltage and there is a reflected voltage. That is, the device will scatter. So if there is an impedance mismatch, so that scattered waves, which will be called it as the traveling waves, or we can have the scattering parameters. Okay. So that is what is high frequency parameters. So even we can have the transmission parameters or T parameters. Okay. So we have T parameters or transmission parameters. So now how we can formulate these S parameters? So now this S and T parameters will be formulated. So we can take some two-port network and we can able to define this. So how we can able to define this scattering parameters with respect to the incident and so reflected voltages. Okay, incident and reflected voltages. Or we can take incident and reflected voltage wave, or you can take also incident and reflected current wave, and you can able to define what are the scattering parameters. So now let us take the two-port network. So we have two-port network, okay, where we'll be having the incident voltage V1 plus and there is a reflected voltage V1 minus. Okay. Similarly, we have the incident voltage V2 plus and reflected voltage V2 minus. Okay. So this is, we considered it as a two-port network. So now we can define the equations for this two-port network in terms of the scattering parameters. So that we can define it as, so V1 plus or V1 minus, which is equal to S11 V1 plus S12 so V2 plus, and similarly V2 minus, which is equal to S21 V1 plus S22 V2 plus. So these are the equations which describes the S parameters with respect to incident and the reflected voltage. Now we can define so each and every single parameters what actually it determines. Okay. So now we can have, so that is V1 minus, which is equal to S11 V1 plus S12 V2 plus, and similarly V2 minus, which is equal to S21 V1 plus S22 V2 plus. Now we can define what is S11. So we can have V1 minus divided by V1 plus when the V2 plus is 0, that is the second port. Okay, so the second port is terminated with the matched load, So then only, so the V2 will be equal to 0 when we terminate with the matched load. Now similarly we can define, so this we can also call it as, so the input reflection coefficient, that is gamma in. Okay, so this also we can call it as input reflection coefficient. Okay, so similarly we can define, so S12, that is S12 which is equal to V1 minus V2 plus. Okay, so whenever V1 plus is 0, that is, so this is whenever the V1 plus is 0, that is V1 minus by V2 plus whenever V1 plus is 0, that is the first port is matched with the termination, and we can call this one as the forward transmission coefficient. Okay, forward transmission coefficient. Okay, so forward transmission coefficient. Now similarly we can define S21, which is equal to V2 minus divided by the V1 plus. Okay, so this we can call it as at V2 plus equal to 0, and this we can call it as the reverse transmission coefficient. Okay, so actually this is the reverse transmission and this is a forward transmission, that is S12 is the reverse transmission. Because why we are having reverse transmission is, you can see the subscript, whenever we give the input at 2 we are getting the output at 1. So that's why we will call it as this is the reverse transmission coefficient and this is the forward transmission, because we are giving the input at 1 and taking the output at 2. Okay, so that's why, so whenever we have the network, so whenever we have the network, so this is the input and this is the output. If we take 2 by 1, so that is what the input output relationship. If I input giving at port 1 and taking the output at port 2, so this actually gives the forward transmission coefficient. Okay, forward transmission coefficient. So now similarly we have the reverse transmission coefficient, where I will give input 2, I am taking the output at 1. Okay. So and one more parameter we can define S22. Okay, so where S22, which will be equal to V2 minus divided by V2 plus at V1 plus equal to 0. So this will be call it as the output reflection coefficient. Okay, output reflection coefficient, and we can denote it this one as gamma out. Okay, so this is what the output reflection coefficient when input port is terminated with the match load. Okay, so these are the how we can define the S parameters. So now what are the actual advantages of these S parameters? So why we need to use? So one thing is, as I told, that the short circuit and open circuit terminations, which are actually giving some problem at the lower frequencies, exactly we cannot able to find out the net voltage and current. So that we can use that short and open circuit termination in terms of the traveling waves. So that is incident and reflected voltage, we can define that, and we can avoid that reflection of the waves when we terminate the port with the matched load. So that's why it is very useful when we go for higher frequencies, we can use these S parameters. So what are the advantages? So it gives the complete description of the two-port network at higher frequencies. So gives the complete characterization at higher frequencies. Okay, so the second one, so as I said, so Z0, so if I take the characteristic impedance, which is the variation with respect to frequency, so as I said, over the broadband frequencies, so this short and open circuit can be realized by using this traveling waves. Okay, so that's why, so this is the reason where we can use these short and open circuits at higher frequencies. We can exactly realize over the broadband frequencies, and since they are causing the very strong reflections, that is open and short circuit, they cause the strong reflections. Okay, so there will give strong reflections when we do not match properly, okay, at the higher frequencies. So that's why, so we can use the matched conditions or matched loads, and we can able to properly define the short circuit and open circuit over the broadband frequencies. So we can realize this open and short circuit for the broadband frequencies. And one more thing here, so since there is a strong reflections, so if I not properly terminate the ports with the matched terminations, so then it will at the input side, so the reflected wave will damage the circuitry. Okay, whatever the source is there, okay, so whatever the source is there at the input side, okay, whatever the source I am taking here to feed the network, this source will be damaged if I not match properly. Okay, so that strong reflections will appear at the source side and it will damage the source. So that is one important thing, so that can be so avoided. So but in low frequency that is a problem, and even the oscillations whatever comes from the strong reflection, that is also a problem to the source. Okay, so that can be slightly avoided so by using this high frequency parameters. So and one more, so as I said, so this S parameters, so it requires the matched terminations or matched load terminations. So what happens, that matched load absorb the energy and it will uh, it will it will reduce the reflections, whatever strong reflection which will come. So that strong reflections, whenever we use the matched terminations, so that will be so absorb the energy, whatever the incident energy at particular port, and so they will reduce the strong reflection so that the device can be so safe, or the source can be so it can be it will be in the safe position or safe mode. Okay, so due to this strong reflection. So now these are the some of the advantages where the high frequency parameters, if we use, or S parameters we can use, and we can have to find out the voltage and current for a particular network. So now how we can convert the low frequency parameters into, so what are the relations can be exhibited for, so from low frequency to high frequency. So is there any relation between low frequency parameters and high frequency parameters? So so there is a relation. So even we can define the low frequency parameters in terms of high frequency parameters, or we can define high frequency parameters in terms of low frequency parameters. Okay, so now let us define that. So in terms of the high frequency parameters, those scattering parameters in terms of the low frequency parameters. So let us take an example for so ABCD parameters, how we can represent the scattering parameters or high frequency parameters in terms of ABCD parameters. So now we have defined that S11, so which is the input reflection coefficient. So that is nothing but Zin minus Z0 divided by Zin plus Z0. So this we have known the reflection coefficient, well known equation. So now if I take the two port network, so to derive the high frequency parameter in terms of low frequency parameter, so where we'll be having the two characteristic impedance are same. So even we have derived the S parameters, whatever we have derived here, so we are assuming that the port impedances are equal here. Okay, so the port impedances here and here it is equal. Now if it is different, again we have to use the different expressions that we will see later. Okay, so we are assuming the port impedances are same. So now we can assume the port impedances are same, and we can have V1 and I1. Okay, and here from port to V2 and I2. So now we can define the Zin, whatever the input impedance here. Okay, so that Zin we can define in terms of V1 by I1. Okay, so that is what the Zin, so the input impedance. And even we can we know already for ABCD parameters the equations. Okay, so ABCD parameters we can already define the equation, that is V1 equal to A V2 minus B I2, and similarly I1 which is equal to C V2 minus D I2. Okay, so now we can substitute the V1 and I1 in this equation. So whatever V1 I1 from obtained already ABCD parameters in terms of this V1 and I1, so we can substitute to get so the value of Zin. Okay, so now if I substitute that one, so V1 which is nothing but A V2 minus B I2, so this divided by C V2 minus D into I2. Okay, so this is what we are going to get. what happened? Okay, so AV2 minus BI2 divided by CV2 minus DI2. So now even, so we can define at this port, so V2 by I2, if I match this one, okay, so V2 by I2 we can define it as the output impedance, or we can have the characteristic impedance which is terminated. Okay, so that V2 by I2, so we can have like the characteristic impedance Z0. So now this we can substitute in this equation, so we can write A V2 by I2, okay, so minus B divided by C V2 by I2 minus D. Okay, so now if I do like this, so V2 by I2 we can substitute it as Z0, so that we will get the expression for Z in terms of Z0, that is, so A into Z0 minus B divided by C Z0 minus D. Okay, so since I1, so which is equal to negative of current, we can take this as I2 V2 minus I2, because ABCD parameters when we define it as, so the V2 by minus I2, so we can take this as V2 by minus I2, so or we can write V2 by I2 which is equal to minus Z0. Okay, so minus Z0, so here we can substitute it as minus Z0. So now this will give minus A Z0 minus B divided by minus C Z0 minus D. So now this is what the input impedance Zin. So now if I substitute in this expression, which is S11 expression, the Zin, so we will get S11 in terms of ABCD parameters. Okay, so if I substitute that one, so this we can write it as, so A Z0 plus B divided by C Z0 plus D. So if I take minus outside, and we can write this one. So now this one if I substitute in terms of this Z in place, we will get the S11 equation in terms of ABCD parameters. Okay, so that is S11 which is equal to, so A Z0 plus B divided by C Z0 plus D minus Z0 divided by, so A Z0 plus B divided by C Z0 plus D plus Z0. So this is what, so the equation for this S11. So now we can simplify this, so we will going to get A Z0 plus B minus C Z0 square plus D Z0, so this divided by C Z0 plus D divided by, so this is A Z0 plus B plus C Z0 square plus D Z0, so this one is minus, so minus D Z0, so this divided by C Z0 plus D. So now this will going to get cancel each other, so we will going to get S11 as, so A Z0 plus B minus C Z0 square minus D Z0, so this divided by A Z0 plus B plus C Z0 square plus D Z0. Now if I take Z0 common both in numerator and denominator, so you will going to get A plus B by Z0 minus C Z0 plus D, sorry minus D divided by A plus B by Z0 minus plus C Z0 plus D. So now we can define S11 in terms of ABCD parameter as A plus, so this 1 over Z0 we can write it as admittance parameter, that is B Y0 minus C Z0 minus D divided by A plus B Y0 minus, sorry, plus C Z0 plus D. So now this is the equation for the S11 in terms of ABCD parameters. So now similarly we can derive for S12 and S21 and S22. So directly I will give that expressions. You can try to get that expression in terms of the incident and reflected voltage and even you can substitute the gamma out for S22 and we can get that. Okay, so S22 we can define in terms of ABCD parameters as minus A plus B y naught, so minus C z naught plus D divided by, so A plus B y naught plus C z naught plus D. So this is what the expression for S22, and similarly we'll be writing S12. So S12 in terms of ABCD parameters, that is 2 into AD minus BC, so this divided by again A plus B y naught plus C z naught plus D. So this is the expression for S12, and similarly S21, so we can write it as 2 divided by A plus B y naught plus C z naught plus D. So these are all the expressions for S22, S12 and S21. Okay, so now S11 we have already defined here. So this is what S11. So these are all the some relation of the S parameters to low frequency. So in terms of which we have chosen ABCD parameters, even we can have the relation. There is a table provided, so we can look into that, what are the relation between other parameters like H, Z and other parameters. Okay, and even Y parameters also we can able to see. So this is what some of the relations how we can able to derive and you can see. So now coming to the next one, what are the properties of these S parameters? So there will be some properties of S parameters that will be useful in solving some passive components or passive circuit problems, and even it will be useful in some of the active circuits. Okay, so now what are all those properties? So even we can apply these properties to n port network, or we can so restrict to 2-port network. Okay, so what are all these the properties? The first one is reciprocal networks. Reciprocal networks, or reciprocity property, or reciprocity theorem, we can say it as reciprocal networks. And one more thing, so which is lossless networks. Okay, so reciprocal networks and lossless networks. Now we have already discussed the reciprocity theorem in network analysis. Okay, so that is whenever we have any network, so if I have any say for example if I take the 2-port network itself, okay, where so V1 I1 and V2 I2, so there is a circuit within this block, let us say. Okay, so what actually this reciprocal or reciprocity theorem says that whenever we have replace V1 the voltage source at this point by the V2, okay, or this the voltage which is placed at this position, or the voltages which are replaced in the port positions, then the whatever the current which is flowing, so that will be same, or we can have the impedance at this port, let us say so MK and here Km. So if I replace the voltage sources, okay, so that will be having a same impedances which will be seen from the two different ports. Or we can in terms of the network theory, if I say that if any branch, say for example if I have the K branch, okay, and in that K branch we have the voltage and we have the current, and similarly we have some M branch in the network, okay, so which is having voltage Vm and the current Im. Now if I replace the voltages, okay, so particular branch, if I replace the K branch with the voltage Vm, and if I replace the voltage of M branch with K voltage, so then we have the Vm by Ik which is equal to Vk by Im. So that is whenever even we have the voltage which we have replaced, so there is a the impedance which is seen from this branch and this branch will be always equal. So in terms of ports, if we say, so if this is Vk and if this is Vm and Ik and Im, so if I replace the voltages, then the impedance seen at these two ports will be same. Okay, so even this theorem applies to the passive networks and at high frequency also. So what is meant by reciprocal network? So the reciprocal network, so whenever we have the S parameters for two port network, okay, so if I take the S parameters for particularly two port network, okay, we have the S11, S12 and S21 and S22. So now if I take the reciprocal network, if the network is said to be reciprocal, then the parameters, so S12 which will be equal to S21. Okay, so this is in general for two port network. So if I take in general, so for n port network any, so if I take Sij, any ports I and j, which is equal to Sji. Okay, so for I equal to I comma j, which is equal to 1 comma 2 comma up to n ports. Okay, so this is what the reciprocal network, so which is for the general n port network. So if I take the two port network, so S12 which is equal to S21. So now if I take the special case of this reciprocal network, so the special case of this reciprocal network we can call it as the symmetrical network. Okay, so if I take the special case of this reciprocal network, which will be call it as symmetrical network. So what happens for this symmetrical network? So along with this S21 and S12, so which are equal, so S11 and S22 will be also equal. That is S11 equal to S22. Okay, so for the symmetrical network in general, Sij which is equal to Sji, okay, and also Sii which is equal to Sjj. Okay, so that is, so where, so here I is not equal to j. So for this particular, so the equation, so where I is not equal to j, but I comma j which is varying from 1 to n. Okay, so these are the two conditions for symmetrical network. Okay, so in general, so for two port network, so these are the conditions, so where the network is symmetrical. So if the network is said to be symmetrical, so this condition should be satisfied. So this is a special case of the reciprocal network. So now coming to the another property which is called as the lossless network. So another property which is called as the lossless network. So where, so here the lossless network in the sense whenever the power which is entering into the network or the two port network, whenever the power which is entering here, so if I have Vi and Ia, we can have the power which is incident to the network, okay, or the two port network. So which is actually power which is leaving to the, so lossless means, so there is no loss within the circuit. So which is the power which is entering into the circuit, which is always equal to the power leaving from the circuit or network. Okay, so that is the theory of conservation, the power conservation is there. Okay, so this condition will be so imposed when some of the restrictions are there on the S parameters. So now what are those restrictions and how we can see these lossless networks in terms of the S parameters, we will see. Okay, so what is meant by lossless network in the sense, if we have the two port network which satisfies the unitary and zero property. Okay, so unitary and zero property. So if the two port network is said to be a lossless network, so it should satisfy the unitary property and zero property. Okay, so now what are those this unitary property and zero property? So now when the network is lossless, so in general for n port network, if it is lossless, then we can have summation I comma j which is equal to from 1 to n. Okay, so Sij and Sij complex conjugate should be equal to 1. So this is what unitary property. Or we can have for the two-port network. So if I have the matrix form, that is, so S11, S12 and S21 and S22. So if we have the matrix form, so generally we can have that, so the reflected voltage V1 minus and V2 minus, which is equal to, so V1 plus V2 plus. So in generally matrix form we can define like this. So now if I take the S matrix, that the matrix form, so now if I take the row and column so wise, so this unitary property in the sense, so if I take the multiplication of the parameter with the same parameter, that is complex conjugate of the same, okay, so S21 into S21 complex conjugate should be equal to 1. That is, if I take any row, any column, okay, so even you can apply to any row, okay, so any row or any column with its complex conjugate, okay, S11 and S21 and its complex conjugate. So you can see here S11 and its complex conjugate plus S22 its complex conjugate. So always that should be equal to 1 if the network is satisfying the unitary property, okay. So that is what the condition is. If the network is unitary, then it should satisfy this condition. So similarly we can write, so S12 into S12 complex conjugate plus S22 into S22 complex conjugate, which is equal to 1, okay. So this is what the unitary property says that. So now if the network is also the reciprocal, which we have seen earlier, so if the network is also reciprocal, we have seen that S12 equal to S21, okay, and also if it is symmetrical, we have seen S11 equal to S22. Now if I apply that condition here, so what you will going to get? You will going to get the magnitude of S11 square, okay, plus magnitude of okay, so here S21 square, which is equal to 1. So because, so if I apply the whatever the reciprocal property, we can have the S11 square plus S21 square. So this magnitude is always, so taking the magnitude, and we can write this one, and even we can write, so the network is also a reciprocal network, S11, so S21 which is equal to S12, okay. So now by applying this, we can have the even we can apply this, we can take S21 or S12 magnitude, we can replace S12 by S21, and we can write also S22 square, which is equal to 1. Even we can have here S12 if the network is also reciprocal, okay. So that is what the conditions we can impose, and we can get the, so the S parameters for this lossless network. So now what is meant by zero property? So now zero property is nothing but whichever the column or row of the S matrix, if you take for the lossless network, if I take any row or any column, okay, if you multiply the column which is, so another column, that is, if I take this column and multiply the complex conjugate of another column, so that should be equal to 0, okay. So that is, so if we take S11 into S12 complex conjugate plus, so S21 into S22 complex conjugate, that should be equal to 0, okay. So that is what the zero property says. If I take any column, if I multiply with any other column of its complex conjugate, so then that should give 0. So that is what we will call it as the zero property, okay. Or we can take, so this column and we can multiply this column, or we can take this row and we can multiply this row, that is, so S11 into complex conjugate of S21 and S12 with complex conjugate of S22, so that it will give 0, okay. So now if I impose the reciprocity condition, that is reciprocal condition, to this network, so you will going to get, So wherever we have S21, we can replace S12 and we can get the values. And also we have so reciprocal networks S11 equal to S22, and that we can impose here and we can get the equations. So for lossless network, so if the network is said to be lossless and also it should be reciprocal, so we have the condition S12 equal to S21, okay, and we have S11 into S21 complex conjugate plus so S21 into S22 complex conjugate, that should be equal to 0, and by using these conditions and the zero property conditions, we can say that S11 equal to S22. That is also one more condition, that is magnitude we can take. So here also we can take the magnitude. Okay, so if the network is said to be reciprocal as well as the lossless network, then it should satisfy the unitary condition, and this is a zero property. Okay, so unitary condition also it should satisfy, which we discussed earlier. And so along with this, so these two conditions should be satisfied. So if all these four conditions it is satisfied, then the network is said to be, okay, so network is said to be reciprocal and lossless. Reciprocal and lossless network. Okay, so and also even we have taken this condition and we can say that the network is symmetrical and as well as lossless. Okay, so this is what the properties of S matrix. So if you have any doubt, you can ask. So anybody, any doubt? So understood? Dilip, understood? Any doubt? Dilip Joshi?
Yes, sir.
Understood? Any doubt while deriving these S parameters for lossless
No
and
doubt, sir.
reciprocal?
No doubt, sir.
Okay. Sri Gauri,
Yes, sir.
any doubt in any
No.
steps?
No, sir. No,
Okay.
sir.
Vishwas, Enjare Gaud?
No doubt, sir.
Okay.
No doubt, sir.
Okay, so then we'll stop here. So we'll continue next concepts so tomorrow.